Hi there, I'm Michael with etrailer.com. Today we're taking a look at the JR Products Propane Hose. Like most propane hoses, this is going to connect between your propane tank and the regulator on your RV so that that propane can flow from the tank into your RV to power those propane-powered appliances. There are a few things that you want to keep in mind when you're searching for a propane hose. The first thing is going to be the length. Obviously, you want it to be able to reach from your tank to your regulator on your RV so that you can make that connection. This hose is 3 feet long. When I measured it just a moment ago, it was closer to about 36 3/4 of an inch, so it'll give you a little bit of wiggle room there from end to end. The tube itself is a rubber construction, so it's going to resist any kinks or cracking. And it does have an inner diameter of 1/4 of an inch, which is going to be plenty of room for that gas to flow through so that you can power those appliances. Now, the second thing that you want to look for when you're buying a propane hose is your connection ends here. So this one is our RV Type 1 ACME, or sometimes called a QCC1 connection. This is going to mount onto your propane tank valve. It's going to use the outer threads of your valve to screw on. One thing I like about this is it's going to screw on, thread on clockwise, so it's going to be more intuitive for those of us who learned, the righty-tighty, lefty-loosey method. There are some other valves out there that thread on counterclockwise, which can be a little bit confusing. You got to pay attention to what you're doing. This is going to be very easy to use. You won't need any tools or anything. You can just use it, tighten it by hand. Be very easy to get in place. Another nice thing about this QCC1 connection is it's got an internal back check that's going to prevent gas from leaking out of the regulator inlet. And if there's too much gas flowing through, the system might think that there's a leak, so it will go into bypass mode, which is just, it kind of crimps down so that there's a minimum amount of pressure flowing through to try and minimize those gas leaks. That bypass mode on this system is going to be set at a very high rate, so you're still going to be able to get a high flow rate going through to power all those appliances in your RV at once before it goes into bypass mode. If this does go into bypass mode, it's pretty easy to get it out. You just got to get everything hooked up, shut off the other end, and build up the pressure so that it can tell that there aren't any leaks. Nothing that you have to worry about. It is just a safety measure to make sure that if there is a gas leak, it's going to minimize the gas flow to make sure that we're not having any sort of catastrophes or anything like that. So that's this, and this is pretty universal for most of your gas cylinders. It's going to mount on the outside. Almost all of them are going to be able to use this fitting. Our other end is our 1/4 inch male inverted flare. Now this is more of a hit or miss. Sometimes your regulator will use this fitting, sometimes it won't. Easy way to tell if this is going to be the kind that you need, go out and look at your regulator. If it's got a gold adapter fitting, it is almost certainly going to use the 1/4 inch male inverted flare. So you can use that rule of thumb to make sure that this is going to work for you. Keep in mind, this hose is designed for LP gas only. Of course, LP stands for liquid propane, so you don't want to use any other gases or water or anything inside this hose. The hose is UL and CSA approved, so it's going to meet those quality standards. It's going to hold up well for you, do a good job. Now, if this isn't the hose that you need, maybe you don't have the 1/4 inch female inverted flare on your regulator, whatever the case may be, if it's not the hose you need, I invite you to come take a look at our other options here at etrailer.com. Our goal is always to help you find the product that you need to solve your problem so you can get back to enjoying your time outdoors. That's going to complete our look at the JR Products Propane Hose.